Welcome back to AI and Finance. I'm excited to be here with you this month because we are witnessing something fascinating unfold, something that feels like the calm before the storm, but not in the way that you might expect. What struck me this month was we are seeing two completely different stories about AI playing out simultaneously. On one hand, we have Google DeepMind researchers warning us that autonomous AI economies could emerge spontaneously, reshaping how value gets created and transactions happen at machine speed. And then on the other hand, we have data showing that AI adoption is actually declining among large companies. And entry level hiring is dropping by double digits as organizations struggle to figure out what AI can actually do for them. It's like watching the future and the present collide in real time. I mean, we are in the middle of a paradigm shift. And so it's natural to have these moments. And there is nowhere that this collision is more relevant than in wealth management, where client relationships, trust, and human judgment remain paramount, even as the tools available to enhance those relationships are evolving rapidly. So, today, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into three headlines that tell the following story: the emergence of what researchers call agentic economies, the reality check hitting AI adoption rates, and the practical example of how AI is starting to reshape something as fundamental as email. Each of these headlines are going to reveal a different layer of the transformation that's either coming our way or already quietly happening around us. So let's dive in. Here's a sentence I didn't think I would be saying as early as 2025, but I'll try it and do it. Google DeepMind researchers are warning that we're heading toward the spontaneous emergence of AI economies that could operate independently of human oversight. And they're really not kidding around. In the Google DeepMind's research paper titled Virtual Agent Economies, the researchers of the paper lay out a scenario that sounds like science fiction, but is grounded in very real technological trends. They call it the sandbox economy, a parallel economic layer where AI agents transact, negotiate, and coordinate with each other at speeds and scales far beyond what humans can directly supervise. Think about it this way: we already have high frequency trading where algorithms execute millions of trades per second. Now, imagine that same concept applied not just to financial markets, but to every type of economic transaction: hiring services, booking travel, negotiating contracts, allocating resources. The researchers predict that unless we intentionally design these systems, they'll emerge organically as AI agents become more sophisticated and interconnected. What makes this particularly interesting for our industry is that they specifically mention personal financial assistance as one of the early use cases. Picture your client's AI assistant negotiating with a hotel's AI system about rates and availability, then immediately coordinating with their bank's AI to optimize the payment method and timing. All of this happening in milliseconds with the human, your client, seeing only the final result. The DeepMind researchers aren't just theorizing. They point to the rapid development of interoperability standards like agent to agent protocols developed by Google and model context protocols, MCPs, as designed by Anthropic. And these are evidence that this infrastructure is actively being built. The question isn't whether this will happen, but whether it will emerge in a way that builds human welfare or amplifies existing inequalities. And now you might be thinking this sounds like a problem for tech companies, not for wealth managers. But here's why I believe we all should care. Our clients are going to be the first adopters of these agentic systems, whether they realize it or not. Consider what's already happening. Your clients are using AI assistants for research, planning, and increasingly for financial tasks. When these systems mature, your high net worth clients will have AI agents negotiating investment terms, managing liquidity across accounts, and potentially even making real time asset allocation decisions based on market conditions and without emotion. The realization is that AI is being developed in the world, in the ecosystem, with the consumer leading the charge, enterprises following that charge, and then government lagging behind that charge. That is the complete opposite of how innovations tend to happen in the world. They tend to happen when you think about GPS and the internet, with the government first, then empowering the enterprises, and then finally the consumer. And because the consumer is driving this innovation, the likelihood that they are experiencing it first is higher than with other innovations. But this creates both opportunity and risk. On the opportunity side, imagine being able to offer your clients seamless 24/7 financial coordination across all their holdings and commitments. Their AI assistant could negotiate better terms on everything from private equity commitments to insurance policies, all while ensuring perfect alignment with their financial plan. But here's the risk: if these AI economies emerge without intentional design, your clients could find themselves disadvantaged by agents that are more sophisticated, better connected, or simply faster than theirs. The researchers specifically warn about resource monopolization and widening inequality. Imagine if your client's financial AI is effectively outbid or outmaneuvered by agents representing institutions or ultra high net worth families. There's also, as with everything around AI, a trust and transparency challenge. When your client's financial decisions are being influenced or executed by AI systems operating at machine speed, how do you maintain the advisory relationship? How do you ensure that the advice and execution align with their values and long term objectives, not just mathematical optimization? And I think that that is why it is so important as a financial advisor today to continue to think about the additional value you can provide and how you can be more human. Don't let the fear paralyze us from doing what the opportunity presents itself as being. The opportunity is that we have the ability and the option to be more human, to lean in to the relationship and empower our team and ourselves to be more human while enabling AI and this paradigm shift to empower us on the other aspects of work that we see today. So, with this, what can we actually do with this information? First, I would say start conversations with your tech forward clients about AI assistance and automation. Don't wait for them to ask. Understand what they're already using and help them think through the financial implications and help you understand what they are comfortable with when it comes to AI being utilized within their wealth management relationship with yourself. Second, evaluate your own firm's AI readiness. The firms that thrive in an agentic economy will be those whose systems can effectively interface with their clients' AI systems while maintaining human oversight and judgment. Think of this as this idea that every client of yours has their own AI assistant that you as a company have to interact with, as opposed to you as a company having your own hub and every client having to interact with multiple hubs for all of their relationships. That is a different way of thinking, and you have to think about how we build our tech stack to accommodate that. Third, I would say partner with your compliance team and technology teams to understand data sharing and API capabilities. Your clients' AI agents will need secure access to account information and transaction capabilities, and we have to determine if we are prepared with that. And then finally, begin developing your value proposition in an AI augmented world. Start thinking about it now. Don't be reactive to when it comes to be in the future. So think about What unique human insights and judgment will you provide when when routine financial tasks become automated? The answer to that question will determine how our relevance is and what our relevance is in the next decade. So, moving on to the next headline. While researchers are predicting autonomous AI economies, here's what's actually happening right now. AI adoption is stalling and it's hitting entry level hiring particularly hard. The numbers are sobering. US Census Bureau data shows that AI usage among large companies dropped from 13.5% in June to 12% in August. MIT research found that only 5% of corporate AI pilots deliver meaningful revenue gains. And meanwhile, a Harvard study reveals that companies adopting AI have slashed junior hiring by 22% since early 2023, with some sectors seeing 40% declines per quarter. This isn't the AI revolution narrative that we've been hearing. It's something more complex and really, frankly, it's more human. But I think that this is just a natural progression in a new industry. Organizations are discovering that AI isn't something you can just layer on to existing business processes. It requires rethinking how work gets done. And that kind of transformation is hard, especially for large established companies. Here's what's particularly interesting. The entry level hiring decline isn't happening because AI is automatically better than humans. It's happening because organizations are uncertain about what roles to create when AI can handle many traditional entry level tasks. They are paralyzed by possibility rather than empowered by it. Stanford research specifically found that jobs most exposed to AI, accounting, software development, customer service, saw 13% employment decline for workers aged 22 to 25, while employment for experienced workers in the same fields remained stable. The message is clear. Experience and judgment still matter, but the traditional pathway to gaining that experience is being disrupted. And so, what does this mean for wealth management and wealth managers? Well, this reality check is, I think, actually great news for wealth management, but it requires strategic thinking. The fact that most AI implementations aren't delivering immediate ROI means that we all have some time to be thoughtful rather than reactive. Let's start with the talent implications. Traditional career progression in financial services, junior analyst moving up to associate, then to advisor roles, is being questioned across industries. But wealth management has always been relationship driven, which means the pathway from support roles to client facing positions remains valuable. However, we need to reimagine what those entry level roles look like. Instead of having junior staff manually compile market research or create basic financial projections, they should be learning to work with AI tools to enhance client analysis and develop more sophisticated insights. The firms that figure out how to combine AI efficiency with human learning will have a significant talent advantage. For client services, this stalled adoption across industries presents an opportunity. While other sectors struggle with AI implementation, wealth management firms that thoughtfully integrate AI into client experiences can differentiate themselves. Your clients are likely frustrated with AI implementation at their own companies or in other service providers. Show them how it's done right. And small businesses like us and RIAs have an advantage here. Let's take advantage of that. Smaller wealth management practices and RIAs can move faster than large institutions. We can experiment with AI tools, redesign workflows, and create competitive advantages while larger firms are still forming committees to study the issue. We have the ability to shift, we have the nimbleness to adapt and evolve. When you get to having 500 thousands of employees, it becomes harder to change a way of work. When you have 3, 5, 10, 50, 100, it's easier. And the advantage and the opportunity lies right in front of us. And so, how can we go and take advantage of this opportunity? Well, the first thing is audit your current processes to identify where AI could help you restructure entire ways of serving families, not just where it could replace humans. Focus on enhancing human capabilities rather than eliminating roles. The second thing is invest in upskilling your team, especially junior staff members. Give them exposure to AI tools, give them goals of how to use those AI tools, of things that they should solve within those AI tools. Let them figure it out and help them understand how these technologies can deliver better client outcomes. And the way we can do that is by allowing them to experiment with the tools and in a sandbox environment within your firm. Third, develop a clear value story around your AI capabilities. When prospects ask you how you're different from competitors, be able to articulate specific ways that AI enhancement improves their experience without compromising the human relationship. Fourth, consider this talent market disruption as a recruitment opportunity. Quality junior talent may be more available now than in recent years. Hire strategically and train them in an AI augmented wealth management from day one. And finally, be patient but persistent with AI experiments. The firms that succeed will be those that iterate thoughtfully, not those that implement dramatically or wait for things to happen. Go and do and learn and iterate and be persistent and patient in that journey. And now let's talk about the final headline. Let's talk about something concrete and immediately relevant. Perplexity, an AI search tool, just launched an AI email assistant that costs $200 per month. And it's actually brilliant, not because of what it does, but because of how it does it. The email assistant integrates directly with Gmail and Outlook to draft replies in your voice, handle scheduling, categorize messages, and manage your inbox workflow. What makes this significant isn't the features. We've seen similar capabilities from Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini and Superhuman as well, but it's the implementation approach. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, Perplexity created a premium product for people whose time is genuinely worth $200 per month in email efficiency. They're not trying to democratize AI. They're trying to perfect it for a specific user base. The assistant learns your communication style, understands your priorities, and acts as a true extension of your professional presence. Email, in my opinion, is ripe to be replaced. We're not just talking about writing emails faster. We're talking about fundamentally changing how professional communication happens. When AI can handle scheduling negotiations, respond to routine inquiries, and triage messages based on your priorities, the entire rhythm of professional interaction changes. And so, what does this mean for us in wealth management? Well, this is a preview of how AI integration will actually succeed in wealth management in the near term. And that is through specific, high value applications that enhance professional capabilities rather than replace human judgment. Think about how much of your time gets consumed by email coordination with clients or partners, scheduling reviews, following up on document requests, coordinating with other professionals on a client's team, sending meeting summaries and action items. An AI assistant that can handle this workflow while maintaining your professional conversational voice and adhering to compliance requirements is transformative. But here's the deeper implication. Your clients will increasingly expect this level of AI enhanced service. If they're paying $200 a month for an email assistant, they're going to expect their wealth manager to be at least as technologically sophisticated. The bar for professional service delivery is being raised by AI capabilities, not lowered. And as your clients interact with other service providers that utilize these tools and see the speed and the depth of the communication, they're going to expect that from you as well. This is what happened with the iPhone. When we all had computers in our pockets, clients' expectations for speed of response was elevated. There was no more give me a day, it's now hours, now it's minutes, and AI is going to make it seconds. And so if you're not there, you're going to continue to be hitting into and cracking the level of trust of clients by not delivering the experience that they expect. And I noticed that this whole idea of elevated need of service and use of tech in the data from my national study of affluent Americans. 54% of affluent Americans with $1 million or more in investable assets say they would find it difficult to trust the investment recommendations of an advisor who doesn't use the latest technology. Our level of advice is now being viewed through the lens of the technology we use. And this idea of taking away something so menial as email and using a great tool that now increases and speeds up and accelerates our communication is an opportunity. The pricing model that this email assistant from Perplexity is providing is also instructive. Perplexity isn't trying to be cheap. They're trying to be indispensable to high value users. And this is exactly the positioning successful wealth management firms should adopt with AI tools. Don't compete on cost. Compete on the quality of the AI enhanced experience you can deliver for your families, your clients. So, how might we look to take advantage of this new development? Well, first, I would just say go experiment with an email AI tool yourself. It's just like email scheduling and document management, but whether it's Perplexity's assistant or Microsoft Copilot, or if you use Gmail, Google's Gemini integration, understand firsthand how these tools work and where they add value within your processes and how you do business. Second, I would map out your client communication workflows. Identify the routine, time-consuming interactions that could be enhanced or automated while maintaining the personal touch that clients value. Third, we've got to consider compliance implications on this early. And don't let compliance be the reason you don't explore it. Email AI tools need access to sensitive client information. So don't just avoid the tool, but work with your compliance team to understand data handling requirements and establish guidelines for AI assisted communication. Set out the process, follow the process, abide by the process, and then you can utilize the tools. Fourth, develop client education materials. Your clients will have questions about AI and financial services. Be prepared to explain how you're using AI to enhance their service without compromising security or personalization. Finally, budget for AI tools strategically. The Perplexity example shows that effective AI integration may require premium tool investments. Consider this as part of your technology infrastructure, not as an optional add-on. This is also a good thing to think about as opposed to having all the AI tools. Find specific AI tools that serve purposes for you. Find maybe 2 or 3 and invest in those heavily. Get the efficiencies out of them as opposed to trying to find efficiencies from all of them. So here's what connects all 3 of these headlines this month. AI is not transforming businesses through grand revolutions. It's transforming businesses through specific, valuable applications that thoughtful professionals implement strategically. The firms that navigate the current AI adoption challenges successfully will be those that focus on enhancing human capabilities rather than replacing them. For wealth management, this means the opportunity is clear. Be thoughtful about AI integration. Focus on client value over technological novelty. And remember that your human judgment and relationship skills become more valuable, not less, in an AI augmented world. The future isn't about choosing between human advisors and AI systems. It's about creating the best possible combination of both. Till next month, stay curious, stay thoughtful, keep on exploring.